Molasses Act helped the sugar plantation owners on the islands of the British West Indies. A tax was placed on the sugar and molasses that came from the islands. The law stated that traders in New England could only trade with the British islands. This made the New Englanders upset in the British. In the French and Indian War, many Indians fought on the side of the French. The war ended with the British and colonists winning. France lost Canada and all of the French territory. King George III thought it was time to tighten his control of the colonies. The Indians were still enemies of England and the British settlements. The French and Indian War had cost a lot of money that King George wanted the colonists to pay for the war through higher taxes. He passed the proclamation of 1763, which said that the colonists could not move westward over the Appalachians. The Stamp Act in 1765 put a tax on 54 kinds of papers, including newspapers, wills, and licenses. In 1767, the British passed the Townshend Act, which placed taxes on tea, glass, paper, and paper. Many colonists refused to pay taxes or to buy any goods made in England. In 1770, the Boston Massacre, a battle between colonists and the British, took place. The British soldiers fired first, killing the colonists. The Boston Tea Party was when the British put a tax on tea and the Americans refused to buy any tea and refused to unload the teas from the British ships in the American ports. About 50 men from the Sons of Liberty dressed as Mohawk Indians and boarded a tea ship in Boston Harbor and dumped 342 chests that valued $73,000 into the water. One of these men was Paul Revere. Many people say this was the most important event that led to the start of the war between the colonies and the British. In other countries, the Americans were determined to become a free nation. If the colonists lost the war, all the men who signed the Declaration would be hung. About 1/3 of all Americans that stayed loyal to the King and to England were called Tories. In January 1776, Thomas Paine published a small book called Common Sense. Common Sense said that all kings in general were bad. It also stated that America must be free to make its own way. American flag. George Washington, Robert Morris, and George Ross asked her to sew the first flag in late May 1776. By the end of the winter, the fighting was taking place in all 13 colonies. Washington and his army, along with French soldiers, marched south from New York to meet in Lafayette. Cornwallis surrendered his army to Washington. On October 9, 1781, after 6 years, the Revolutionary War was over. In 1783, the Americans and the British signed a peace treaty in Paris, France. Why, hello there. Step into my office. Isabel, darling, could you fetch the door? Yes. I wonder who that is. Hello there. Oh, why, hello. Marie, darling, if you don't mind. I'm Benjamin Franklin. Nice to meet you. What brings you here?
I came to ask you a couple of questions about your new invention, the light bulb.
Oh, well, it's quite simple, you know. I saw that a lot of people needed electricity, so light bulb, you know. So, it was very nice speaking to you. I have something to attend to. I shall see you later.
I understand.